I wonder how giants experience time, and furthermore, how those with giants' blood experience time, because we find out in chapter 1139 that the wife and child of Skapra Gaban, both being giants, are 20 and 80. His son Colin being 20, which adds up because Skapra Gaban has been on Elbaf for 20 years, and his wife Ripley being 80. Colin, his son, looks like a small child, around 10 or so, and Ripley, despite being 80 years old, looks to be about 20 to 30. So I hope someday in the future we get an SBS that gives us a giant to human equivalency chart so we can see what is what. Because we see guys like Road and Loki are in their 60s, but they look to be more comparable to guys like Zoro or Sanji or Luffy, to where they're in their early 20s or late teens. So it's really something to think about just how old these people are when compared to the ages of a human. And with that being said, seeing as how ancient giants seem to be the precursor to giants, I wonder, did they age even slower and can last for even longer? Because we do have Little Oars Jr. or Oars the Third, so we don't really know how old he is in compared to other giants, right? Because his age was actually 72 if he's still around in the post time skip, whereas he was 70 in the pre time skip, which is not that much older than Road or Loki, as they are 63. He's only 10 years older. So what does that actually mean? Is he younger than them? Are ancient giants even slower to age? I'm not sure. Then when you get into guys like the Buccaneers or the Wontons, who are confirmed to have giant's blood, what is that about? Do they age even slower? And then furthermore, if Onis are in the same boat as Buccaneer, so guys like, supposedly, hasn't been confirmed yet, but supposedly Moria, and then the confirmed ones being Kaido and Yamato, do they too age slower? Even though Yamato is 28, is she actually like 17 or 18? You kind of get what I mean? It's a weird thing to think about. And then with that being said, how does that affect the psyche of a person who ages slower than everything else around them? Because seeing as how Loki was tied up in bondage for 6 years, what is 6 years to a giant? Quite actually. Is 6 years like 6 minutes? Do they actually keep track of time in the same way that the rest of the world does? It's really something to think about. And I hadn't really thought of the implications of that until I really sat down and thought, well, man, it has to be really something to be 60 years old, but you are just hitting your stride, hitting your prime as a person, whereas the other races of people around you could be reaching elderly age or are elderly at that point. It's really something to think about. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede What?